Okay, so, for some convoluted reason, I've been uploaded into the internet. Don't worry, there's a video coming up about that and how both me and my friends got in and intend to get out. It's a long story, trust me. However, until then I can only continue my videos like this. And trust me, it's even more of a pain to do the editing and research in my own computer. Anyway, with that said, on with the episode! Hello there, peoples of the internet, and welcome to Game Over, the internet show where we don't make gaming and anime characters fight in a giant tournament to see who comes out on top. That's that other series. Our question today is one that has plagued fans since they found out there was two of him. Is Link reincarnated, or do all Links just have the same name and Triforce of Courage? Let's begin our investigation with the two other holders of the Triforce, Ganondorf and Zelda. Why these two? Well, aside from Link, they're the most prominent characters in the Zelda franchise. Not to mention they're in almost every Zelda game, so surely they must be reincarnated, right? But let's get into the facts. Now, as we all know from Skyward Sword, we know that Zelda and Ganondorf are both reincarnations of gods, those being Hylia and Demise. However, Zelda herself isn't reincarnated. In fact, since every female in the royal family is called Zelda after Skyward Sword Zelda, then we know that the Triforce of Wisdom is in fact passed down by blood. And yes, the Triforce is an all-powerful tetrahedron and is magic and so on and so forth. But just because it's magic doesn't mean I can't apply science to it. So what about Demise? Well, there's one thing that might add some validity to this hypothesis, and that's what he promised. After being defeated by Link, Demise threatens that he will rise again and places a curse on the bloodlines of both Link and Zelda, in which his hatred will be reborn and attack their descendants in an endless cycle. It basically states that he will be reincarnated just to come back and attack Link and Zelda. Thus we have Ganondorf. But has Ganondorf really ever been reincarnated? At least after being killed by Link? Well, it's a good thing we have the Hyrule Historia and a good understanding of the Triforce. Because Ganondorf has the Triforce of power, that grants him immortality, invulnerability, vast strength, and unlimited power. But wait, how does immortality work when the Master Sword literally destroys all evil? You know what, never mind. I'm getting sidetracked. So why does Ganondorf, or Ganon, need to be reincarnated when he's immortal? He doesn't. If you look at the plot to each game that Ganondorf/Ganon is in, you'll see what I'm talking about. Excluding Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf/Ganon appears in 6 other games, which are the original Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Wind Waker, Four Swords Adventures, Twilight Princess, and A Link Between Worlds. This is going to be a lot of Hyrule history, so you might want to get comfortable. In the original Legend of Zelda, Ganon is revived. Get used to that word because I'm going to be saying it a lot. He then gets swiftly killed by Link. His minions then attempt to revive him in the Adventure of Link, and obviously fail. In A Link to the Past, he's revived and goes to the Sacred Realm. He then made a wish to control the Sacred Realm, transforming the realm into the Dark World. Again, he's swiftly defeated by Link. In Wind Waker, Ganondorf had escaped from the Dark World and conquered Hyrule. A hero never rose to vanquish him. Remember that part, it'll be important later. So the gods destroyed Ganon's gains by flooding the land and turning it into the Great Sea. In Four Swords Adventure, Ganondorf is reincarnated but gets defeated by Link and is sealed into the Four Sword. In Twilight Princess, Ganondorf was to be executed, but he escaped and the sages sealed him in the Light Realm. And finally, In A Link Between Worlds, Ganon is revived by Yuga in Lorule via the portraits of the 7 sages. Link then proceeds to defeat him again. I think I'm sensing a pattern here. See, aside from Ganondorf being reincarnated once, and both Ganondorf and Zelda being the reincarnation of gods, it's still not enough evidence to suffice that they're always reincarnated, since every girl in the royal family is named Zelda, not to mention the Triforce of Wisdom is passed down by their bloodline, and aside from that one time he was reincarnated, it's still the same Ganondorf, just being brought back by his minions for some reason. I don't know, maybe they don't get what they want when he's not around. And you might be saying, yeah, that's great and all, but what about Link? Exactly, I say to you. We're just getting to him. Let's start off with that sentence I said earlier. In Wind Waker, Ganondorf had escaped from the Dark World and conquered Hyrule. A hero never rose to vanquish him. Remember that part, it'll be important later. So the gods destroyed Ganon's gains by flooding the land and turning it into the Great Sea. That sentence right there is very important, because if Link really was reincarnated, then surely the gods wouldn't have had to flood Hyrule and would have just taken his soul and put it into some unborn kid. And yeah, they're gods, they probably had a reason not to, but why would they need a hero to rise? It's almost like he's not reincarnated at all. But I'm sure we're just jumping to conclusions here. So, what's the definition of reincarnation? So it has to do with the rebirth of a soul in another body? But if Link was really reincarnated, then why is there 2 of him? Don't know what I'm on about? Allow me to explain. In Twilight Princess, there is another Link. He isn't hidden, and it isn't an Easter egg. Rather, he's in plain sight. The character, the hero, Shade, is a character that appears to train Link throughout his journey. The hero, Shade, was once a famed swordsman of Hyrule. He is, according to the Hyrule Historia, the hero of time from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask that died lamenting that he was never remembered as a hero, as well as not passing down his skills to the next generation. He also calls the Link of this era son due to being his ancestor. If they both have the same soul, then there should only be one of him. And it's not like you can't actually see him in the world of the living because he appears in a wolf form there. Also, there's kind of a rule of reincarnation that the soul is reborn into another being right after death. Twilight Princess takes place over 100 years after Majora's Mask. So if Link isn't all one big reincarnation from one to another, then who is he? He's the hero. I know that's kind of obvious, but just bear with me. He's the hero that needs to stand up in order for the bad guys to be defeated. Remember that line, "A hero never rose to vanquish him"? Told you it'd be important. There was never someone brave enough to rise and face his fears, or his enemies. That's why Link has the Triforce of Courage, because even though he's scared or outmatched, he's still brave enough to face the worst foes any video game character has ever faced. Link is rather like Batman in that regard. Anyone can be Link. It's just a matter of having the courage to face evil. And that's just it, isn't it? Even though he may change in hair color, age, or even body structure, the very essence of that person, it's still Link. It's still the same courage of the hero that we all know and love. So what if Link is not just one person being reincarnated time and again? He's still the hero of time, wind, and waves, that has the courage to stand up to great evil and save the day, whether it be for Hyrule, Terminus, Skyloft, the Great Sea, or Lorule. But I guess that's just a hypothesis, isn't it? What? Don't give me that look. Oh, I see. You thought I was gonna... No. Nah. Anyway,